What up? This is Rama Screen, and I'm here talking with the executive producer of Netflix new series Sex Life, which arrives June 25, Oscar winner Miles Dale. How are you, Miles?
Hey, Rama, thanks for having me. I'm great, thanks.
You've produced many projects over the years across different genres, including your Oscar-winning film, The Shape of Water. What was it about what Stacey created with Sex Life that made you say, yes, I want to help back this project?
Well, actually, it went a little bit differently. As I read the book, and while I thought it was really interesting, this woman who sort of made great lemonade out of lemons when her husband read her journal, I thought actually it would be a feature film. So, the first conception I have of it was as a movie where, she reads it for a while, he reads it rather for a while, it's great sex. And then there are some unintended consequences that, create some trouble. And then there's a happy ending where they get together. But then I realized that actually it had a lot more potential and a lot more depth as a series that really started to look into female identity. And at that point, I realized I had to get a really smart woman with some life experience. And as soon as I met Stacey, I knew that I had found her, someone who could really take it from a very female perspective and from a female experience to write the show.
When you produce shows like this, generally, do you usually have a say or an input into the creative process, or are you more of a hands-off type producer?
Well, usually I'm quite involved. And in this case, I really wanted to give it to Stacey to create out of whole cloth. And in actual fact, I said early on, I wanted it to be all female directors and as many female crew as we could have, because I did feel that it was important for it to be an authentic expression of the female gaze on this show. So in this case, sure, I was supportive and I was involved in the casting process. And, I had some comments on story and everything else, and the budget and the schedule and those kinds of things. But really and truly from the creative perspective, I would say more so on this show than many, I sort of stood back because it was important that it be Stacey's vision.
The genre erotic thriller is few and far between these days. I remember growing up, there were many like Fatal Attraction, Basic Instinct, Color of Night, Eyes Wide Shut. Why do you think this specific genre is something that Hollywood doesn't produce as much anymore? Or is it because it's not superheroes in capes?
Well, it's hard to say. Things go in waves, and those movies were great movies, and there's still the odd film like that. We actually used Unfaithful was a part of our inspiration here. And I think as much as anything, every story, gets told in its own way. And this story really didn't fit into any kind of a box. It wasn't 50 Shades of Grey. It wasn't anything in particular, but it was really one woman's story of the search for her true identity and her search of self. So in a way, it's sort of deeper than a movie can be in that way, because you get a lot of time to know these characters. And I really feel that with our show, it gets better as it goes along because you're just more invested in the characters. You've been through some trials with them. You've seen some of the flashbacks about Billy's past life with Brad and what was good and what was bad. So, it just felt like kind of a fresh canvas. Sure, it's erotic, but the eroticism is tasteful, and it's rooted in character, which is really kind of important. So for us, it was a chance to explore something that may have seemed familiar, but in a different way and from a different perspective.
All right, for my fans at home, everybody go check out Sex Life, arriving on Netflix June 25. Miles, thank you for talking to me and congratulations.
Thanks, Rama. You too.